Uh-oh. Hey, y'all, is there an issue with my Discord? Okay, no, no. Because I had a screen... Oh, no, there is an issue going on right now. Because it's showing my bitrate has gone all wonky. Did I just cut out for a moment? Oh, I did cut out for a moment. Okay, so there's a storm going on outside. There might be a slight issue. If I cut out again, I do apologize. That might happen. The only reason why I didn't say anything about it is because I didn't think it was gonna like cut out that soon or that late, as it were. Because like that was the first time it happened tonight, and it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't sound like it's still going. So that's the only thing I can assume. But it seems that we've done a slight bit of a reset. So there's an ad break coming on up. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. So we're going to go to an ad break. I do apologize about that. That's my apologies. I should have kept an eye on that. Anyways, be back in about 4 or 5 minutes. Ciao. Okay, we're back. And it seems the bitrate has gotten better since then. So it was just a fluke. That's all it was. Alrighty. Alright, so shoot at that rebel again. and stay in cover. Tabella, move there. And then Blade Dance to here. Why am I still live? Because I have an hour left to go. I usually have an hour or so left to go. My stream crashed though, so that's what happened. Nah, I'm gonna on Tuesday. I'm not gonna stream.
Is a blessing. As the tenets demand. Caught by the web.
Out of my way. Who wants some more? Here we go.
God damn.
Hold on. Let's get to it.
Alright, well, when we get to there, let's give Cabela some extra strength. And then charge on into these guys.
Glory be gone.
And then endure. Abelard, get that way. Charge on into that guy.
Tactically sound approach. Indeed.
I don't think I have to. So, yep, there we go.
I took care of this one.
Oh, the Arbites arrived! We got some allies. Good. I don't have to do this by myself.
Poised for action.
Oh my god. Fucking one-tapped it.
Make it quick.
Fucking love them.
An offering of blood.
Let's get to it. Out of my way.
Took down his own teammate. Whoa. Good fucking lord, what gun does he use? That thing's fire rate is immense.
Battlefields are always drowned in scarlet.
On it.
My gut tells me it's a bad idea. We never stood a chance.
Alright.
Accept your
And this
loss.
isn't even on my own turn. This is funny.
I'll make it. It's as good as another enemy down.
Here we go. Another scar from my collection.
Let's move you right here. Yeah, that'll do.
I'm ready for whatever comes. I'll see to it. Best defense is a good offense.
Left him at 1 HP. Lovely.
Who if not me?
Trust me.
Damn, he's a tough cookie.
I shall not let your soul be purged. Trust me.
Hold on. I defy you.
Oi!
Let's get to it.
Killing brings me no
Let's
pleasure.
make it quick.
How dare you fuckers shoot a dog? I don't care that he's chewing your balls off. That's a dog.
The Emperor is on our side. My place is at the fort.
Let's get to it.
Shot his ally. I love it when they keep shooting themselves.
Forward.
There we go. Solomorn's chestplate is punctured in multiple places and his face stained with blood, but his gaze remains clear and firm. Still alive, Rogue Trader? Good. You spot just as many wounds in Glyto. There are burns and cuts all over the coat, and one of the visors is broken, and yet there is nothing in the Cybermastiff's straight posture that would indicate pain, if pain is even something this dog can feel. What is happening at the starport? Panic and heresy. The people are ready to crush each other to reach the shuttles, which makes them easy targets for the enemy. Where is the governor? I do not know. He waited for you under Arbetes' escort to burn the heretic's body and conclude the ceremony. But when the sun went out, the enemies came at us from every crack and rockcrete. He panicked and ran. Not the smartest choice. He would have been safer with us. Those wounds look bad, officer. Let me offer you first aid. I would have accepted your offer, but we still have Medicaid kits. Not many, but it should last us until we get to the shuttles, which is all we need. It appears your investigation has hit a dead end. Not yet, it hasn't. A crooked smile crosses his face. We did find something on the port terminal. Shortly after the Tithe was hauled away, a suspicious ship took off from the planet, and I already know how to track it down. I see you're not trying to flee and have chosen to fight instead. I commend your resolve. Actually, our plan is to retreat. The rebels are one thing, but there is nothing we can do against the war forcing its way in. And that's a fact. Solomorn spits out a mouthful of blood. This battle was forced on us. We had to keep the heretics away from the terminal until the machine spirit finished transferring the data to our shuttle. Speaking of shuttles, the ship we hired has turned tail and left orbit, so I must turn to you with a request. Take my squad aboard, and we will disembark on the first world or station with access to a void ship. We cannot die here while whoever stole the Tithe is enjoying their freedom. I will consider it an honor to assist you. Farewell, you and your people may come with me. I could use a personal lawman at my beck and call, especially one who is in my debt. Your plans do not concern me. I will consider it an honor to assist you. We need time to dress our wounds and regroup. We still cover your retreat and make sure there is no attack from the rear. Get to the shuttle first. We'll be right behind you.
Rise to the top, or get left in the dust.
Ah. That's interesting. Oh, yes, I can still enter there. Let's see what's in here. Has anything
I
changed?
always keep my options open.
Ah, there's some goods. I'm struggling to draw for the infinite time again. I think I'm overthinking it. That sounds about right. You'll be right. You got this. You always do. Or just overwhelmed about using the new tablet and new program. Hey, just draw some squares and some circles. Just doodle. Don't really focus on anything, just doodle. Oh, it's the governor. Hold on a moment. The stench of saline and blood blankets the starport. Echoes of shouts and gunfire drift over the landing pads. The shards of plexiglass crunch underfoot. You recognize Sergeant Malgar amid the crowd huddled next to the shuttles. He was the soldier who greeted you upon your arrival at Rackham. Oh, it's that guy. A group of bloodied and frightened people is wedged between Malgar's wardens and the shuttles. You recognize them as the governor of the planet and the member of his high-ranking entourage. Their expensive attire has been torn in the fight and many bear wounds left by bayonets. Examine the people in front of the shuttle. Some of the nobles are paralyzed with fear, others have succumbed to despair. 2 corpses are lying on the ground with their arms outstretched. Black blood has pooled under one of them. The other's skull has been split open like a nut, encircled by pinkish crimson halo of bones, splinters, bits of brain matter. Sergeant Malgar, I demand an immediate report. What is going on here? Governor, would you care to explain to me what is going on here? Pointing a weapon at the sergeant. How dare you treat highborn officials in such a manner? Sergeant Malgar, I demand an immediate report. What is going on here? The sergeant spins around to face you, his face a twisted grimace of anger. Our esteemed governor and his gang of cronies have been cowering behind us, and now when things get rough, they thought they could scarper and leave us to die. We've shed our blood for him and broken our backs to provide for him. And after all this, you think that's fair, you piece of grok shit? Malgar's stun baton hits the governor in the chest, causing the adornments of the governor's uniform to jingle in unison. The governor spits out blood and opens his mouth to respond when his head explodes. His body falls limp to the side, his remaining eyes staring upwards. The chorus of the nobles' screams cannot drown out the sergeant's spiteful, "Enough! You've said your piece!" For generations upon generations, the nobles of this world cared for Rykad Minoris and ensured the prosperity of its inhabitants. And this is your gratitude, peasant? For killing a nobleman, you deserve to be executed where you stand. Cassia throws out her hand and Malgar's knees buckle. My mentor was right. The rabble truly have no honor. Abelard looks at the governor's body, his brow furrowed. Madness, punishable by death. We do not have time for this. We need to get to the shuttle. You are acting like an executioner. You think you have such a right? Malgar, now is not a time to massacre each other. It is not the first time I have done the impossible. I will get everyone out of here, including your men. Another in your position could have forgotten that the Emperor protects all of his subjects, but surely not you. It is your duty to help anyone you can. The sergeant frowns at you. I don't know why you stick up for these parasites. They never would have helped someone like me. but they don't deserve to die either. You're right about that. Not all of them, at least. A dull thud comes from deep within the starport. Heavy footsteps shake the rock creek, raising an unpleasant tremor in your boot bones.
You thought you had killed Aurora, false believers.
Uh...
I am Aurora. I am the herald of change. Behold the final dawn and die.
Your arrogance will be your downfall.
Will be avenged.
That's a Chaos Space Marine. That's a fucking Chaos Space Marine. And of course Aurora's going first. Abelard. Get in his way for me, please. Cabela, get rid of the rabble. Get to cover Pascal. Cassia, you two. Lazarus will stay right there. Of course he runs around back. Holy shit.
Hold on.
Aim for the heart next time.
Let's make it quick.
Okay, so let's start off with this. Yeah, go ahead.
Blades and shadows. As
Dance.
honor ordains. As the tenets. As honor ordains. Death is a blessing.
That took out a large number of them. Okay, Machine Spirit Communion. Hold on, you need to move here. There we go, that's better. Sweet, you can still keep moving. Good, get there. Analyze enemy, expose weakness. Everyone can do that. Alright. Ooh, boy. Yeah. Deadeye shot barely did anything. Cassia, get behind cover. Please.
Be careful not to cross my gaze.
All creatures in a cone in front of Navigator suffer from 13 to 60 damage. The affected target must also become stunned for a turn. Do I? Yeah, just go ahead.
Job for the serfs. If I may.
Heinrich, get into combat.
I won't do that. I need a foothold.
And then charge.
But of course, Lord Captain.
Oh boy. Abelard, do your stuff.
Tried and tested tactics are the best ones. Victory is imminent. It will be done. Just a
Oh my god. This motherfucker. I need to get rid of that sniper. Hold on.
The shadows will see it done. Killing brings me no pleasure.
Yep, just unload into him. One exploit each combat, then makes a pre-attack against target. Till the end of combat, the target of this attack suffers. Did it? Did it crash a second time? It should only be just the one time. Oh yeah, it crashed again in a sense because I have a storm going on in my area. It's a tornado storm, but it passed. Yeah, it did. It crashed at least once. As far as I know. All right, bud, you're going you're gonna give it to him.
As the tactical imperative dictates.
You missed. Oh, you hit. Oh, thank God. I was gonna be so mad. Oh, fuck. Am I able to retreat without... I'm going to take damage. Oh, fuck you, bitch.
I'll make it happen.
Oh yeah, I can attest. The character Joe would ask you to draw is very simple. Yeah. Oh, right, yes.
That is foolish.
Do it again.
I'm not accustomed to being ordered around.
Well, Cabela, you're going to be ordered around whether you like it or not.
I'll make it happen.
There we go. No more sniper. No, don't. Not that way. That's
Me?
not any better, but...
Yes, Lord Captain.
Back up. And charge into him. Get up, Captain.
Let's see to it. I won't object to it.
Fuck. Oh. Oh, you got lucky, Pascal. So incredibly lucky.
Retribution. As honor ordains.
Blood vial. Alright, well, you either get out of the way. Actually, no. I don't want you to be in melee, but like, you're forced there.
Running binaric override. Request approved. High momentum.
Just move a little bit that way and open fire.
Taking calculated risk is in my second nature. You should feel honored to witness this. Best defense is a good offense. Who, if not me? I'll see to it personally.
If only that were possible. Isn't this a job for the serfs?
Yeah, you keep saying that over and over, and yet you still... Ah, get fucked, asshole!
Let us not dawdle.
Bringer of Terror. Heretical follower only. Life-draining sword. When a successful hit with this weapon, the target must pass a toughness resistance test with a -5 penalty. On failure, the tougher suffers the bleeding effect and veiled degradation is increased by 1. Conviction, heretical. The wielder restores wounds equal to 25% of the... Oh, that's lovely. Requires conviction, heretical. 4 maximum wounds. When veiled degradation is above 15, 10, plus 10 toughness. Each round, the wearer regenerates wounds equal to the wearer's heretical rank. If... Oh, that's rewarding me for being a heretic.
Fate and fortune favor the bold.
This is why I'm going with Iconoclast Heretic.
Always keep your eye on the price.
As it should be.
Taking a quick look around just to make sure that there aren't any other goods I am missing. Bruh.
Keep your wits about
Can't
you.
have shit in Detroit. Into the void ship. Alright, everyone, I want answers. What the fuck just happened? Capella, stop that. Thanks be to the Emperor. You are alive, your lordship. We are most gratified by your return, and the crew is full of zeal to carry out any orders you may have. For anything else, I will hear an account of what happened to the system's sun. Voxmaster falters. Lord Captain, we saw a number of ships approach the sun. Black creations of inhuman make. Amalgams of sharp angles and edges. They surrounded the star and then My apologies, but I struggled to find words that could describe that terrible sight. The Xenos made the sun vanish into the void. The interrogator closes his eyes and grimaces. Drukhari. You see Abelard's expression change as if a shadow was suddenly fallen over him. He rubs his temple wearily, as if we did not have enough trouble on our hands. The Xenos? Enemies of humanity? Heinrich nods. A breed of the Eldari, the most cruel and devious of their kind. The design of their ships matches the description provided by the Voxmaster. Like all Xenos, the Drukhari are a blight on the face of the galaxy, but their technological superiority is indisputable. They abhor and fear warp sorcery, which is why they rely on creations of the twisted intellect, and many of those creations are capable of things that may seem akin to sorcery to the unenlightened eye. The theft of the sun is one example of what they are capable of. Are the Xenos in league with Aurora's cultists? I wish to know more about these Xenos. Is there any chance that we could recover Rykad Star? Enough. We have more pressing matters to deal with. We can rule out that possibility. The Drukhari would never ally themselves with the Archenemy's worshippers. If I had to name one thing that humanity and the Xenos have in common, it would be a shared loathe for warp corruption. Heinrich glances around. The situation calls for immediate action, Lazarus. We can continue this conversation later if you so wish, but right now he gestures at the deck teeming with tumultuous activity. I believe you should assume command. What is the current status on board? Navigator's sanctum is no longer empty, but the warp engine is still refusing to obey the engine seers. Without it, we cannot perform a warp jump. Pascal's voice buzzes anxiously from the Fox. It may be angry, or perhaps it is lamenting the injuries it has suffered. I will immediately initiate preparations for a prayer service. If the Omnissiah grants me comprehension, I will appease the machine spirit of this vessel. Why did you not send a shuttle to the planet for me? What is happening on the planet now? Why did you not send a shuttle to the planet for me? I do apologize, Your Lordship, but we were unable to receive your request for evacuation. The Vox Link was overrun with vile interference, screams, blasphemous hymns, and other equally sinister noises. Any who listened to the interference for a protracted period lost their sanity. Several dozen operators went mad monitoring the Voxcaster in the hope of hearing your voice. Each one of them waited in vain. What is happening on the planet now? Our Augur operators are reporting numerous uprisings and other manifestations of the Archenemy's powers at various locations on the planet. Based on the fragments of communications picked up by our Vox operators, there's practically no resistance being offered by the governor's forces. Millions of people are converting to the blasphemous final dawn, called en masse and assembling in prayer circles. Do you have any hope of retaking the planet? I fear that Rykad Minoris is lost. The situation is deteriorating by the minute. We must leave the system as soon as possible. However, there are still people on the planet who have not succumbed to heresy and who are worthy of rescue. Besides the small number of our own shuttles, we also have the shuttle salvaged from the starport. The dark eyes of the Sister of Battle flash. We must save as many as we can. This has all happened for a reason. Saint Argenta, whose name I carry with reverence and trepidation, is famed for saving the people of a dying world through the power of prayer. The God Emperor himself sent a star from the heavens that lifted the saint and her followers up to the sky, away from corruption and death. We must do as she did, direct all our efforts to saving those people who at this moment look to the heavens in hope of salvation. The lives of peasants are of little value. Our prime objective is to save the Holy Relic, the miraculous fusion reactor, and the electro priests who guard and tend to it. Abelard furrows his brow. Every moment we spend in proximity to a dying world, we are putting ourselves at risk. Your life, Lord Captain, is far more valuable than all of Rykad Minoris. The Von Valencia's dynasty cannot be allowed to perish, and so lamentable though it is, we must rule out the idea of any evacuation. Heinrich's eyes, like two deep dark pools, are resolutely fixed on you. The world is doomed, and its inhabitants along with it. The disappearance of the star was the final nudge towards death, the finale of the cult of the Final Dawn's plans. I once witnessed a similar event. A world that had surrendered to the servants of the archenemy and permitted corruption to enter too deep. At this moment, millions of people are bowing down before those who promised them salvation, and they are willingly giving over their souls to chaos, a sacrifice great enough to bring forth a demon world. Our only hope of stopping this process is to retreat to a safe distance from the planet and conduct targeted bombing of the Electro Priest Monastery. If we blow up the reactor, a thermonuclear reaction will follow. The world's oxygen will evaporate, killing off the entire biosphere. In doing this, we will save millions of souls from a fate far worse than death, and we will save Rykad Minoris from becoming an outpost of the arch-enemy. Only death can rescue these people. The Undying One has reached out his hand to this world. It is time for him to reap his harvest. We must not reject his design, lest millions of names never reach him, and instead perish in the depths of Empyrean. Death is a mercy, Domin Lazarus. Whatever fate you choose for this world, I urge you to make haste, Lord Captain. The planet is burning in raging flashes of crimson and purple. I can see it even from orbit, as do I see that the storm is already upon us. With every moment that we waste, it grows ever more difficult and perilous to steer the ship through the warp's turbulent currents. I'm with the lady on this. Enough talking. We need to get out of here while we still can. Something lurking in the depths of your consciousness bristles at the passing of thought of saving people. The spike of horror you feel takes your breath away. It is as if you were planning to steal the prey of a mighty predator. The planet is already wrapped in a thread stretched out from the warp. It deserves to have a new master. Why can we not try to evacuate at least some of the people? Which of the planet's inhabitants can we evacuate? Set an optimal course and carry out an orbital strike on the Electro Priest Monastery. Rykad Minoris must fall. We will not waste any time on this world. Pull back and begin the preparation. Which of the planet's inhabitants can we save? The nobles you rescued at the starport have given the coordinates of shelters where we can find surviving aristocrats and their families. As for Sergeant Malkor's troops, they will help to control the crowds of frightened commoners and prevent the shuttles from being overloaded. Thanks to you, we have salvaged many shuttles from the starport that we now use. Why can we not try to evacuate at least some of the people? For the simple reason that the transformation process will soon become irreversible and our sole weapon against it useless. The energy released by the bombardment could stoke the warp energies. I have never witnessed the aftermath of bombing a demon warp before, but there is enough evidence of such attempts for me to say with confidence that you do not want to see it. Have the pilots extract all of the commoners who have not yet converted to the Vault of Dawn. Oh boy. Oh. Have the pilots extract all the commoners who have not yet converted. Why would I save the nobles? They don't have anything of value. Meanwhile, the commoners will be a crew that I will receive. Fusion reactor might be something that I need. I'm gonna have a little look-see online to see what they do and whether or not I can then blow up yeah, I have to complete this. There's literally nothing for me to click or anything. Oh, that's not what I was looking for. That is an idea. Saving the Doomed is not what I'm trying to do right now. So far, I haven't found a way to use this piece of miraculous fusion technology. Isn't Mechanicus supposed to buy it often or something? Profit factor, okay. They see a traitor might as well commit high treason. Yeah. Okay. View the community hub. Okay. Save nobles, commoners, then blow up or what? Blow it up, just be saved when chaos involved. There are some rumors that if you don't blow it, then you get penalty on willpower. Not sure if it's true. Okay, so far, so long as you didn't just run or blow it up, you get a -5 will. As long as you try to save somebody, any one group out of the 3, you get +15 to Iconoclast. Rumors, if you save the reactor, it can turn to some profit factor. Okay, I'm just gonna save some people. Do not forget yourself, Interrogator. One more objection from you, and I shall forget all the need to deliver you to Popola. I must do as I see fit. Perhaps I'm acting foolishly in the Inquisition eyes, but that is my decision to make. Oh, right. He said something. Any delay caused by the loading transports, if you indulge your vanity, you will doom billions to eternal torment at the hands of the archenemy. You detect the flicker of something beneath Heinrich's sanguine mask. Anger, bitterness, whatever it may be, it does not seep into the Interrogator's dispassionate voice. In that case, I consider it necessary to point out that the mark of the Archimany could infiltrate the ship along with any rescued people. Keep that in mind for future. Consider it done. It is likely for shuttles to have capacity to evacuate more people. That's it. There's nothing else on this planet to save. Screw the fusion reactor, screw the nobles, or blow it up. Tonight Chaos got a portion of his sacrifice, thus making it weaker than it would have been. Honest, not enough people at this point has finished the game. Praise the Emperor, burn the heretics, kill the mutant. Just reiterating shit. Is there not a way to save people, then blow up? You should have listened to me, Rogue Trader. We will have to pay for this mistake. You can still bomb it! The bridge is in upheaval. The Technomats' prayers mix together in a senseless cacophony, while servitors work hastily to remove a hardened crust of sacred unguents from the warp engine's components. In the middle of all this tumult stands Pascal with a data slate clutched in his hand, seemingly disconnected from the flurry of activity around him. What's going on here? The warp sexton is not responding to commands. The ship's spirit is rejecting our prayers in anger. I am currently calculating a plea that might appease a noble spirit. Magos, why don't you assume control of the Technomats? Surely the contribution will speed things up. Pascal, this is now your ship and your temple, so start acting like it, you blasted cog. Magos, if you do not bring the situation under control, we will all perish. Act swiftly. Crew, heed the word of Magos Hanuman. Pascal, I kindly request that you take charge of this mess. Thank you, your lordship. You are right. Pascal's voice changes when he addresses Screw. He now speaks with authority and resolve. Tech comrades, heed my instruction. The mayhem immediately subsides and the crew's actions fall into some indiscernible logic. The Omnissiah servants start working in sync, and the binary clamor becomes a symphony of reports, which the Magos coordinates like a skillful conductor. Yeah. I streamed till like past midnight, so like I'm streaming just a little bit more, and then I'm basically finishing this and then getting off. Do not ever act like a spineless greenhorn in front of me ever again. Make the rebellious lump of metal take us out of here. Admirably done, Pascal. The Omnissiah guides me. Prayers of the tech priest surrounding the cogitators almost drown out the sounds of the bustling bridge behind the Pascal. Poring intently over the data slate in his hands and extends Vectindra towards you. Please take your place at the cog. First, explain what we are doing. I studied the data and discovered a machine node that was damaged as a result of the heretic sabotage. The functioning of the warp sextant was tampered with, and the ship's spirit aggrieved by this violation of the right operation. It is now rejecting its calculations. I sought a way to rectify this error and have concluded that your participation is necessary to do so. The cogitator systems of this temple of the Omnissiah are subordinate to the shell whose repository serves the machine we see before us. A machine created for your predecessor and one that uses the biological signature of dynastic blood in its computations. The spirits should recognize the ship's master and submit to his will. Should. Pascal speaks the final word with a slight tremor in his synthesized voice. I have to go. Hope you win this and blow up everything later. See ya, Shade. Should sounded less than reassuring. Lord Captain, comes the crackle from Pascal's vox, part beleaguered sigh, part interference. I'm still poorly acquainted with this void ship. The acolytes here have adopted their own customs for conversing with the machine spirits. They do not know me, and they express themselves in a little-known dialect of Technolingua. I will trust in the Omnissiah that my analysis of the data was correct. It means we have a chance of appeasing the ship's spirit. The huge machine in front of you is lit with dozens of vid screens and hundreds of lumens. The blinking lights and endless rush of symbols and digits on the green background make your eyes water, and a vague sense of alarm simmers in the depths of your mind. The typical reaction of a layperson when confronted with the magnitude of the Omnissiah's creation. Among the numerous controls, you see the mouth of a cyber gargoyle, the same as the gate to the warrant chamber. Pascal's voice becomes imbued with imperious force. Servants of the machine god, heed my command. Acolytes, prepare the incense instrumentation for the liturgy of machine spirit propitiation. Senior Technomats recite the prayer to generate a current data report. Operation will be marked with a campanological protocol. Omnissiah rejoice. I must inform you that for the purposes of safety, complete reassembly of the warp sextant and updating of its datasmith blessings are required. If this is not done, then at launch the volume of aggregate calculations error could result in the destruction of the data crypts. But as we do not have 100 hours at our disposal, we must omit this procedure. Pascal looks down at the data slate in his hands. A minor deviation from the rite of operation for the sake of appeasing the spirit. What must I do? Deviating from the right operation, that sounds dubious, especially coming from you. Listen, can't you do all this without me? No. What must I do? Place your hand inside the throat of the Cogitator Guardian. The Cyber Gargoyle, which has been assigned to guard the forbidden data crypts, the dynastic blood extracted from your veins will serve as a key to the data core where the machine spirit dwells. To it, we will offer our prayers so that we may bypass the protective protocol for defective connections and launch the warp sextant. The laws of the Omnissiah know no exceptions, and so in this ritual I will remain at your side to placate the wrathful machine spirit in whose abode you will be intruding. Follow my litigations, Lord Captain, and may we receive his blessing. Place your hand in the Cyber mouth. The metal jaws clamp down on your hand, breaking your delicate corporeal sheath and releasing warm red liquid into its gullet. At the same moment, the image on the vid screen before you changes. Connecting. Success. Access in it. Nom odes operate respect act. Gesture of the fish. Does it all mean? At the sound of your voice, the Cogitator's servant, whose bronze-bound skeleton is built into the Cogitator housing shudders. With a scream, its skull rotates towards you and stops in that position. Benevolent code, a voice receptor. Pascal emits a sequence of binary signals and then is silent for several seconds. I hypothesize that the defect is located in the analyzer block. I register a reaction to the signal, but no processed response. A temporary override is permissible. The Magos intently studies the vid screen. The shell was created on a forge world unknown to me. initiating standard invocation of the machine spirit. Pascal leans over the adjacent instrument panel and sets his hands on the controls. At the same time, a quiet stream of machine code begins pouring forth from his vox. What should I do now? Lord Captain, I now ask you to address the machine spirit, speak the following command. By my authority, I revoke the inviolable protocol to the warp engine. The voice receptor will receive the voice entry. Without your sanction, the machine spirit will not accept the data of the warp sector. By my authority, I revoke the inviolability protocol of the warp engine. One of the cogitator's vid screens turned red. Pascal sees this and raises his hand. He, signaling to the rest of the tech priest, that withdraws a connector from his sleeve and connects it to the machine. Servants of the Omnissiah, make now the offering of cleansed data crypts to the machine spirit so that it may be filled with their true and calibrated data. May the Omnissiah have mercy on our souls. Hey, Chimney. Yeah. Yes, we are. We are one day closer. In meek solemnity, the acolytes offer up the cleansed data crypts to the warp engine, one after another, repeating prayers of exaltation. After anointing the contacts with sacred unguents, Pascal inserts them in the cogitator slots. Your head begins to spin from the holy censers, foul-smelling cloud of smoke, and from the loss of the blood that the cyber gargoyle continues to drink from you, and the world swims before your eyes. Let this mechanism awaken in renewed purity. Pascal enters a sequence of commands and raises his head, watching the vid screens. Suddenly, he stops dead. No. His fingers fly over the command runes, entering command after command. His mechadendrites clicking their pincers pull out one lever after another. The vid screens fill with strings of symbols, completely incomprehensible to you, but clearly conveying something to the Magos. Is everything alright, Magos? After a few seconds, one of the data crypts mounted on the cogitator begins to emit sparks. A moment later, another data crypt does the same. The next bursts into flames and gives off foul-smelling smoke. Around you, the Omnissiah servants break off from their prayers, and someone bursts into frantic pleading. Pascal mournfully grates out. The massive errors in the warp section's calculations is destroying the data repositories. The offering did not appease the ship's spirit. The warp engine cannot be filled with the motive force. We are trapped. A moment later, Magos continues uncertainly. Perhaps an alternative Ryzen protocol, or an emergency launch of the auxiliary coils. The tech priest bends over the cogitator, but something in his pose and movement reveals his desperation. While the other vid screens are filled with more and more strings of symbols, the monitor in front of you blinks and its static image changes. Pascal is too engrossed on his ritual to notice. Read the information on the vid screen. Input, pack, nom. OS stab true, OS stab false, stat check, perturb, disturb, null. Magos Hanuman, a moment if you will. Machine Spirit, can you hear me? The cogitator servants creaks quietly in its joints, a sound that is drowned out by the binary hymns and the tapping of command runes. Ping, request response. Injury, rescue, query, rescue, Machine Spirit, rescue us! Machine Spirit, this is Lord Captain of the vessel. Obey me and start the warp engines. Oh, hallowed Machine Spirit, in the name of the Omnissiah and the Emperor, reveal unto us your power and guard us against doom. Pascal echoes your sentiments with the triumphant sounds of a binary hymn. Pascal's next vocalization goes unsynthesized as he sees the vid screens begin to stabilize one after another. The strings frenetically galloping across the green background are replaced with stable images or regularly updating status reports. Only one monitor remains inexplicably red. The tech priest's vox crackles in shock, but his report is as clipped and clinical as ever. Registering, warp sexton activated. Registering, data stream stabilizing. Registering, 0 data errors found. Reporting, the warp engine is ready for translation. After a pause, Pascal adds, I am also reporting evidence indicating a Category 3 miracle fulfilling the criterion, thou shalt witness the mechanism that toils in glorification of its function and in defiance of reactivation. Lord Captain, Ravor here. The crew are almost finished carrying out the orders given earlier, and I've just received confirmation from the engineering halls. I don't know what you did, but the warp engine's up and raring to go. We're ready to begin translation to the warp, your lordship. What just happened? Pascal pauses. I hypothesize that the ship's spirit heard our prayers and intervened. They summon the power of the Omnissiah to do something beyond my comprehension. It appears the Omnissiah perceives and knows the power of your faith, Pascal. We would not have worked this miracle otherwise. Pascal, I expect you to save my ship yourself, not pray for a miracle. I know little of the Omnissiah's sacred machines, but what I saw on the screen looked strange. I hope he will grant me a revelation that will allow me to comprehend the nature of this miracle. Pascal's voice buzzes with wonder and an undercurrent of exultation. I know little of the Omnissiah's sacred machines, but what I saw on the screen looked strange. A non-standard output of information lost in the data core. The servitors used as data conduits are not always fully lobotomized. Fragments of their thoughts can appear even in pure code. Pascal falls silent, immersed in thought. Contact Ravor. The Lord Captain speaking. I give the order to commence translation to the warp. Waiting for you to ascend the Captain's throne, Lord Captain. May the Emperor protect us. Oh. Hey everyone, just a slight heads up, we're going into an ad break. When we get back, we'll play a little more, and then we will go ahead and raid into someone. Alright?
Von Valancia's flagship made its way out of the doomed star system. As the void ships plunged deeper into the Coronis expanse, the rogue trader's subjects bid a formal farewell to the late head of the dynasty, Theodora von Valancius. Having paid their last respects, the crew gathered their strength and braced themselves for whatever was to come next.
Okay, we seem to be into our break, so I'll just put it to the break screen for now. So, just gonna wait here for a few minutes till everyone comes back. Hello everyone, welcome back. We have finished the first chapter. We are now in the beginnings of chapter 2, so I'm gonna start it up, talk to some people, and then we'll call it a night. We'll do something, we'll raid into someone. So let's find out what's happened since we translated. Lord Captain, allow me to report. Our journey through the warp is coming to an end. Lady Navigator Orcelio informs me that we have reached the point where we can translate to real space in the Furibundus system. The Lady Navigator and her pilots are awaiting your permission to begin the process. The Furibundus system is home to Footfall, the only Imperium outpost with a functional wharf in the Coronis expanse. The tech priests are begging you to have mercy on their machines worn down by the warp, and to allow the servants of the Omnicide to inspect and heal the void ship's wounds in the dock. The prayers and rituals will take some time, which our astropathic choir will use to establish a connection with the prime worlds of your protectorate, Dargonis, Janus, and Kiava Gamma. Master Zachary Wise has recovered an invitation previously adrift in the Immaterium. The Liege of Footfall has humbly requested an audience with the rogue trader of the Von Valencius dynasty. According to Master Zachary, the message was tinted with shades of pleading. I quote, "Apparently the Liege is anxious to meet as soon as possible." Footfall, a place where filth and sanctity go hand in hand. Reverend Hieronymus Doloroso will most likely expect a visit from me. I imagine he will be interested in talking to you as well, Lazarus. I will be leaving your void ship when we arrive on Footfall, Lazarus. Once that is done, consider the Lord Inquisitor's task complete. Your Lordship, young Yvain Winterscale has asked me to convey his gratitude for your hospitality and for saving him from certain death. Not wishing to outstay his welcome, he plans to disembark at Footfall. Lord Yvain swears he will not forget his debt to you. I hereby inform the rogue trader that during a comprehensive system inspection raid, this unit discovered data clusters within the captain's cogitator that concealed from prying eyes by means of personal cipher and a sacrament of algorithmic authorization. Unit Lazarus von Valencius has been added to the access list and assigned the identifier Keeper 2. The unit can access the data from the captain's cogitator provided that he possesses the decryption key. You detect a hint of something resembling curiosity in Pascal's mechanical voice. Thank you once again for rescuing my squad, rogue trader. We will disembark on Footfall. The trail of evidence leads to the docks, and it wouldn't hurt to pay the Liege a visit, I am sure. He will graciously extend his cooperation to the Arbites. Are you leaving us, Heinrich? The arrangement between the Lord Inquisitor and your predecessor was I be transported to Footfall and no farther. I dare not take advantage of your generosity and patience any more than I already have, Lazarus. I hope we meet again. True servant of the Emperor. True servants of the Emperor are always welcome aboard my ship. You're a skilled fighter. I could use people like you. What do you say we extend your stay in my retinue? Finally, my benevolence and patience were both about to run out. I would extend an offer to him. Thank you for your offer, but I must decline. I am afraid my duty to the Golden Throne comes before everything else. Stolemorn, is there any assistance I provide in your investigation? Right at this moment, unlikely. We have a considerable amount of dirty and routine work ahead of us, such as checking cogitator logs and questioning the station's residents, including its less palatable individuals. None of that is worth the rogue trader's time, I assure you. Still, should his circumstances change, I will absolutely welcome the aid of such a dependable ally as yourself. Argenta, who is this Reverend Hieronymus who wants to talk to me? He is the head of the Drusian mission on Footfall, and one of the most prominent clergymen in the sector. Paying him a visit is a good thing for any loyal servant of the Emperor to do. I assisted his mission before I joined Lady Theodora on her voyage. I need his blessing to accompany the new rogue trader of the Von Valencius dynasty. If you wish to have me aboard your void ship, I request that we meet the Reverend Hieronymus. The shed blood has washed away the taint from our bodies. It is only right that we now wash our souls with the blessings of the servant of the Undying One. The Drusians, like the Bloodspun Web, are devoted to asceticism, rejecting wealth and luxury and surrounding themselves to his service. Though their thread is different from ours, the first spinner spoke of them with respect. Tell me about the system we are arriving in. Her abundance is valuable due to its close proximity to the Maw, the gateway to the Imperium. The system is mostly known for Footfall. main base for merchants, privateers, and rogue traders traversing the Coronis Expanse. Additionally, the star itself is orbited by Adeptus Mechanicus station, which is off limits to outsiders. Altar Templum Calixus Extension 17. I had the honor of attending to this shrine in a few cycles. I suggest you abstain from visiting it, as most tech comrades at the station are engaged in meditative calculations that should not be interrupted. What do I need to know about Footfall? It is the largest port and the trading capital of the Coronis Expanse. It has a dockyard that will allow us to inspect and repair the void ship, and it boasts its own astropathic choir, the Coronis Expanse Communication Nexus. Not to mention pirate hideouts, smuggler caches, and forts belonging to a dozen gangs, groups, and factions. In the Coronis Expanse, the Imperium relies on this as its outpost. The fringes of humanity domain rarely resemble its central worlds, but so long as Footfall serves the God Emperor, insofar as it can, it will be considered a citadel of the Imperium, although I have heard that the tithes it sends are underwhelming to say the least. You know what I just realized? I think we're told to go to a secret location, and I just completely forgot about it. Whoops. Let me take a drink. Due to Footfall's remoteness, it has developed its own rules and customs. Many of the goods that can be procured there would be considered heresy in the heart of the Imperium, enough to warrant summary execution. Moreover, Footfall is the domain of the rogue traders, who transcend certain Imperial laws by virtue of the warrant they bear. Footfall is just a brief stop. What's next? As soon as we solve the issues plaguing the ship and establish contact with the key worlds of your protectorate, the time will come for your Magnae Accessio, the official ceremony of donning the mantle of the rogue trader. It is mostly a formality at this point. You already possess all the privileges granted by the warrant, and yet it is a major milestone in your personal history. The moment your name graces the list of heads on the Von Valancius dynasty. We are all looking forward to that day, Lord Captain. Abelard, do you know anything about the Liege of Footfall? Vladame Tokara is a very peculiar young man, considering your upcoming conversation a baptism of fire in Footfall's political arena. Such things are not spoken out loud, but Liege Tokara is the appointee of Kazbalika Mission, the largest robber baron crime syndicate in Calix sector. They specialize in the cold trade, the buying and selling of all kinds of Xenos rubbish. Footfall was previously run by a liege who did business with several criminal factions at once, but he suffered an accident. The reins of power were picked up by Vladame Tokara, whose appointments benefits not only the Kazbalika, but also their most powerful ally in the Coronis Expanse, rogue trader Caligos Winterscale. Vladame is a slippery yet very cautious fellow. He does not usually beat around the bush and does not play mind games. Perhaps more importantly, he is no fool. Fools do not rise this high in the Kazbalikan hierarchy. Keep all this in mind. You are a rogue trader. You stand above him in status and wield considerable power. Having said that, history has seen cases where Kazbalikan barons cross swords with rogue traders and emerge victorious. Do not forget that and remain vigilant. The Kazbalika vile tech thieves, Pascal's Vox barks out, the last words like a profanity. Why does the Liege want to see me so badly? Not you personally. He wishes to meet with the rogue trader of the Von Valancius dynasty. Tokara does not know about Lady Theodora's death and is simply seeking an audience with the powers that be. My gut is telling me that something must be very wrong on Footfall if our astropath managed to read such strong emotion in such an anodyne message. We have no information, Lord Captain. The broadcast from the Footfall Astropathic Choir was the only missive Master Zachary was lately. Tell the Lady Navigator I give her leave to make the translation from the warp into real space. Get me out of this hell. Victus begins issuing instructions. The massive ship appears to change with her every word. The bridge is set in motion as hundreds of people start to prepare for the shift. to real space, and measured chanting fills the corridors to safeguard the vessel and its crew. Victus turns to you again. One more thing, Lord Captain. No one at the station knows about Lady Theodora's demise, and you inheriting the title. Liege Tokar will be informed. It is required so we can use the dock, and besides, he is expecting a personal audience with the rogue trader. He will not meet with an unknown person of unclear standing. However, there is still the matter of announcing your arrival. You can either arrive on the station with the proper pomp and ceremony, or choose to visit it incognito. Tell me in detail how these choices will benefit me. According to Footfall's unwritten laws, rogue traders enjoy special privileges that exceed even the power of the Liege. However, they may choose not to exercise those privileges in certain situations. Arriving incognito will give you more room for maneuver, while an official visit will allow you to directly intervene in local affairs. I shall explain, if you do not mind. As per this unwritten rule, every rogue trader arriving at the station has the right to veto any of the Liege's decisions. But there is a catch. The Coronis Expanse is home to several influential rogue trader dynasties, and Footfall is where their interests intersect. Of course, that does not prevent certain persons, namely Caliga Winterscale, from subtly pulling the strings on Footfall. If you, as a new rogue trader, start your career with an official landing and a parade in your honor, the other dynasties may see this gesture as the newcomer challenging their spheres of influence. I do not see that as a bad thing necessarily. Old Man Winterscale may take slight offense. Corda will be put on her guard, but you have just risen to prominence, and most people in the Coronis Expanse have not even heard about Lady Theodora's departure yet. It must be made clear that the banner of Von Valencia soars as high as ever. If I may, I would recommend arriving incognito. You will have plenty of opportunities to savor the sweetness and the burden of power, but right now is the last time you can take refuge in obscurity. This way, your arrival will not draw much attention, and the people will treat you as a person and not the almighty sovereign anointed by the Emperor. It could turn some situations to your advantage. I have decided. Tell the Liege I will arrive incognito. It will be done, Lord Captain. Victus bows again. With your gracious permission, I will return to my duties. I want to see how things go incognito. Let us save. Quick save. Yep, there we go. Cassia, before I leave for the night, do you have anything you wish to speak with me?
Words cannot describe how boring the bridge is without our stimulating conversations. Too many colors. The hues flicker and intersperse, merging into a single wave. It's about to crash. Forgive me, but I cannot satisfy your curiosity at this time. Perhaps later.
Interesting.
Right here?
Let us discuss other things.
Of course. Let us turn from personal matters to... I have enjoyed...
Oh, she doesn't have any new dialogue, so that will be it. Quick save, yep. So, thank you all for joining me today. Now, let's find someone to raid into. Oh, Kai's currently up. Let's, yeah. Let's go raid into Caillou, see what he's doing. Or, actually, let's raid into Barry. He is currently doing Elder Scrolls. Is it Elder Scrolls Online or just regular Elder Scrolls? What are you doing, Barry? Oblivion Remaster. Actually, let's go into Volus. Apparently, they are doing art. Let's go see what they're doing. If I remember my notification correctly, they are also doing a game key giveaway today. So let's see how they are doing. Right? Thank you all for joining me tonight. I very much appreciate it. Have yourself a good night. I love you all. Sweet dreams.